Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from the Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 15, the Yoga of the Supreme Person. Text number 1. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Urdhva Mulang Adashakham Ashvatam Prahur Avyayam Chandam Siyasya Parnani Yastang Veda Sabedabed. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Urdhva Mulam Adhashakam Asvatam Prahur Avyayam Chandam Siyasya Parnani Yastang Veda Sabedabed. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Urdhva Mulang Adashakam Asvatam Prahur Avyayam Chandam Siyasya Purnani Yastang Veda Sabedabed. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Urdhva Mulang Adashakam Asvatam Prahur Avyayam Chandam Siyasya Parnani Yastang Veda Sabedabed. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Urdhva Mulang Adashakam Prahur Avyayam Chandam Siyasya Parnani Yastang Veda Sabedabed. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Udam Ashakam Astamham Payam Ayayam Chandan Siyasya Parnani Yastam Veda Sabedabed. Matajis. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Urdhva Mulam Adashakam Asvatam Prahur Avyayam Chandam Siyasya Parnani Yastam Veda Sabedabed. Word for word translation. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Urvamulam, with roots above, Adaha, downwards, Shakam, branches, Ashvatam, a banyan tree, Prahu is said, Avyayam, eternal, Chandamsi, the Vedic hymns, Yashya, of which, Parnani, the lives, Yaha, anyone who, Tam, that, Veda, knows, Saha, he, Vedavit, the knower of the Vedas, Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "It is said that there is an imperishable banyan tree that has its roots upward and its branches down, and whose leaves are the Vedic hymns. One who knows this tree is the knower of the Vedas." Everybody please repeat. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "It is said that there is an imperishable banyan tree that has its roots upward and its branches down, and whose leaves are the Vedic hymns. One who knows this tree is the knower of the Vedas." Purport. After the discussion of the importance of Bhakti Yoga, one may question, what about the Vedas? It is explained in this chapter that the purpose of Vedic study is to understand Krishna. Therefore, one who is in Krishna consciousness, who is engaged in devotional service, already knows the Vedas. The entanglement of this material world is compared here to a banyan tree. For one who is engaged in fruitive activities, there is no end to the banyan tree. He wanders from one branch to another, to another, to another. Many branches. The tree of this material world has no end. And for one who is attached to this tree, there is no possibility of liberation. The Vedic hymns meant for elevating oneself are called the leaves of this tree. These trees' roots grow upward because they begin from where Brahma is located, the topmost planet of this universe. If one can understand this indestructible tree of illusion, then one can get out of it. This process of extrication should be understood. In the previous chapters, it has been explained that there are many processes by which to get out of the material entanglement. And up to the 13th chapter, we have seen that devotional service to the Supreme Lord is the best way. Now, the basic principle of devotional service is detachment from material activities and attachment to the transcendental service of the Lord. The process of breaking attachment to the material world is discussed in the beginning of this chapter. The root of this material existence grows upward. This means that it begins from the total material substance, from the topmost planet of the universe. From there, the whole universe is expanded, with so many branches representing the various planetary systems. The fruits represent the result of the living entity's activities, namely religion, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation. Now, there is no ready experience in this world of a tree situated with its branches down and its roots upward. But there is such a thing. That tree can be found beside a reservoir of water. We can see that the trees on the bank reflect upon the water with their branches down and roots up. In other words, The tree of this material world is only a reflection of the real tree of the spiritual world. This reflection of the spiritual world is situated on desire, just as a tree's reflection is situated on water. Desire is the cause of things being situated in this reflected material light. One who wants to get out of this material existence must know this tree thoroughly through analytical study. Then he can cut off his relationship with it. This tree, being the reflection of the real tree, is an exact replica. Everything is there in the spiritual world. The impersonalists take Brahman to be the root of this material tree. And from the root, according to Sankhya philosophy, comes Prakriti, Purusha, then the three gunas, then the five gross elements, Pancha Mahabhuta, then the 10 senses, the Sendriya, mind, etc. In this way, they divide up the whole material world into 24 elements. If Brahman is the center of all manifestations, then this material world is a manifestation of the center by 180 degrees, and the other 180 degrees constitute the spiritual world. The material world is the perverted reflection, so the spiritual world must have the same variegatedness, but in reality. The Prakriti is the external energy of the Supreme Lord, and the Purusha is the Supreme Lord Himself. And that is explained in Bhagavad Gita. Since this manifestation is material, it is temporary. A reflection is temporary, for it is sometimes seen and sometimes not seen. But the origin from whence the reflection is reflected is eternal. The material reflection of the real tree has to be cut off. When it is said that the person knows the Vedas, it is assumed that he knows how to cut off attachment to this material world. If one knows that process, he actually knows the Vedas. One who is attracted by the ritualistic formulas of the Vedas is attracted by the beautiful green leaves of the tree. He does not exactly know the purpose of the Vedas. The purpose of the Vedas, as disclosed by the personality of Godhead Himself, is to cut down this reflected tree and attain the real tree of the spiritual world. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports to the 15th chapter, text 1, Yoga of the Supreme Person, from the Bhagavad Gita as it is. Omagyanatimirandasya Gyanam Gyanashalakaya Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jutapadakamalang Shri Gurung Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatan Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakambhitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinavando Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Deve Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kipa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Urdhvamulam Adashakam Ashvatam Prahur Avyayam Chandang Shri Yashaparnani Yastam Veda Shavedavid. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, it is said that there is an imperishable banyan tree that has its roots upward and its branches down, and whose leaves are the Vedic hymns. One who knows this tree is the knower of the Vedas. So the Supreme Lord continues explaining to Arjuna about the nature of this material world, comparing to a banyan tree which is reflected on the water, because there's no such thing, real banyan tree, which the roots are upward and the branches and down, and whose leaves are the Vedic hymns, of course. And it says the one who knows this tree is the knower of the Vedas. Yes, the main purpose of the Vedas, Vedaisya Sarvair Aham Eva Vedya Vedanta Krit Vedavid Eva Chaham. Of all the Vedas, I am to be known. That is the purpose of understanding. Vedas means knowledge. There are two kinds of knowledge, absolute knowledge and relative knowledge. Everything that pertains to the material world, the knowledge that we learn here, is temporary. It's like academic-wise. That is called relative knowledge. And then there is what you call absolute knowledge, that which that does not change. And that means it is eternal. It has no beginning and it has no end. That is eternal knowledge. Relative knowledge, material knowledge, means it has a beginning and there is an end. So the Vedas has to be known, and if one misses the main focus of what the Vedas meant for, then one stands to just waste his time. This is the usually the conclusion of the Gyanis. They tend to speculate, and they just became absorbed in the flowery language of the Vedas. The Vedas can be very, very bewildering, especially if one is not able to learn the import from a bona fide representative of the Supreme Lord. If one can somehow or other, as Prabhupada says, it's not just either by one's fortune or not by fortune. It is one's sincerity that one Krishna sends a bona fide representative, then he'll be able to understand the import of the Vedas and be able to get out of the entanglement of this material world. So Prabhupada mentions in the purport that the entanglement in the material world is compared to a banyan tree. For being in the material world, one tends to perform his activities specifically in a way that one is in the platform of always in the fruitive gain. Wants to have something like, what is there for me, or what is in it for me? Everything that all of everyone probably, that most probably everyone is always thinking of that. Not just the karmis, the gyanis also, and the yogis. They also wanted to somehow, their desire is to merge into the absolute truth, or realize the localized aspect of the supreme absolute truth. So everyone is engaged in fruitive activities, and there is no end to this, as Srila Prabhupada says, because there's a lot of branches, another to another to another. It could be compared also the material world being entangled in the internet. You can go here and you can go and you can get, that's why it says World Wide Web. World Wide Web means it's like the web of the spider. You know, if an insect get entangled in the web, not be able to get out. So much traps. So the tree of this material world has no end because of this, so many branches for activities meant for fruitive gain. There is no possibility of liberation except if he able to understand or elevate himself through the Vedas. The Vedas are meant to elevate oneself. Even if one is in the mode of ignorance, one can elevate oneself into the mode of passion, and then into the mode of goodness, and ultimately into the pure goodness. Karma kanda, jnana kanda, upasana kanda, and then ultimately to the Vishuddha Sattva, understanding that the source of everything, the cause of all causes, is Lord Krishna or Lord Vishnu. So, the tree's roots grow upwards because they begin from where Brahma is located, the topmost planet of this universe. If one can understand this indestructible tree of illusion, then one can get out of it. Srila Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakur explains the meaning of Ashvata. Ashvata is banyan tree, right? So the meaning of Ashvata means that which does not have tomorrow. Tomorrow does not come. That tomorrow will not come. For the non-devotees, that tomorrow will not come because whatever, after leaving the body, they take another form of body and continues their activities from where they left off according to their desires. For the devotees, that tomorrow never comes also because they will not take any form, material body. However, they will continue their activities from where they left off, being engaged in Krishna consciousness in a spiritual body. So both ways. That tomorrow will never come for the devotees because they will not take birth again in this material world. And for the materialists, their hope or their desires will continue from where they left off, which means they are going to take another form of body, material form, where they experience more and more activities that they will be entangled again and again in this material world. So that tomorrow will never come also because perpetually they will take up so many kinds of forms accordingly because their entanglement becomes more and more deeper. Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakur. Tomorrow never comes. That tomorrow will never come. Ashvata. So Prabhupada continues that This process of breaking attachment to the material world is discussed in the beginning of this chapter. Prabhupada was once asked, is by becoming detached means from attachments you transfer, then you become detached? By giving up attachment, you become detached? Prabhupada says no. It's by purifying one's attachment, you become detached. Because you cannot give up things. You just have to purify things. It's like, say, our taking of food. We're attached to eating nice, palatable food stuff. To become detached from that, we offer our foodstuffs to Krishna. Then, in this way, our attachment for eating for our own enjoyment is given up. Because first, we will serve Lord Krishna and try to please Him. So anything that we do or attach to can be purified, and then when it becomes purified, that attachment becomes detached. We become detached to that. When we become purified, offering everything to Krishna. That is detachment means. Huh? Like having so many things, you have already many things, you use it for Krishna. Because once you use it for Krishna, you become satisfied. You don't want to accumulate more and more. So you become detached that way. Whatever we have, we use it for Krishna's service. That is meant by vairagya, or detachment. And this is for all the ashramas. Brahmacharis, grihastas, they have to learn a little bit more because they have a tendency to accumulate more and more in their life, since they have this license for sense enjoyment. That doesn't mean license for enjoyment means no limit. It has a limit. It has a restriction. License for sense enjoyment means it is restricted as well. You cannot have less, you cannot have more. You have to have just balance. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says sense enjoyment is like having prasad, but you have to use salt. You cannot have less salt, and you cannot have too much salt. If it's less salt, you don't enjoy. Isn't it? Have you have a sabji without salt? It's not enjoyable. You need a little bit of salt, just enough salt. Now, if you put too much salt, you cannot eat it also. Right? Sweet, which is too much sugar, is not good also. I've tasted some sweets in Mauritius. I was there for 10 days. And actually the sweets came from Africa, one of the temples. And the sweetness is just enough. And usually I don't eat sweets. But this prasad is so good that the sweet is just enough. You can eat more and more and more. Now if the sweets also, Mahaprasad, is too sweet, just a little bit of bite, it's too much. And if it's sweets and it doesn't have sugar, you don't call it sweets. So a sense enjoyment is like that also. It cannot have less salt and too much salt. It has to have just enough salt so that it will be palatable. So the whole universe is like this, that everyone is meant for performing activities for sense enjoyment, but the way how one can actually become free from the reactions of this is to dovetail everything in Krishna consciousness. So here, the process of breaking attachment to the material world is discussed in the beginning of this chapter. And the root cause of this material existence grows upward, because the banyan tree is reflected onto the water, a reservoir of water. and the roots are upwards, because that is the place of where Lord Brahma, who is the first living being in this material world, in our universe. So from there it is expanded. Have you seen a banyan tree in Parikrama Marg? That's a big banyan tree also. It's considered as very, very auspicious, and it has so many branches. Usually you'll see the monkeys playing because they can go to different branches and so on. So the living entities are like this. They go to different branches. They go sometimes up, sometimes down, sometimes in the middle. It depends on the results of their fruitive activities, that they take different species of life, and somehow they go to different levels of planetary systems in the universe. So the cause of moving from different branches to another branch to another branch is desire. Prabhupada says everyone has desire. Only a dead man does not have a desire. Even an ant has a desire for sugar, right? We have two kinds of desires, either material or spiritual desires. Material desires entangle us in this material world. It is the cause of our repeated experiencing the cycle of birth and death. And for those whose desire is only to please Krishna, then no more repeated birth and death. So according to the desire, it is the cause of how we are being in bondage in this material world, or according to our desire, if it's purified only for the pleasure of Krishna, it'll cut off our material bondage and will be released, and this is what is called liberation. So desire is the cause of things. That's why we are getting entangled into this material world, birth after birth. This has to be cut off. Our relationship with the material world, our desire has to be dovetailed into Krishna consciousness. Then our bondage from the material world will be cut off. The desires of the devotees are different than the desires of the materialists, whose only purpose is to enjoy their senses to material objects. Very simple. So this tree, being the reflection of the real tree, is an exact replica. There is no difference, because there is variegatedness in this material world. The original, the spiritual world, also is full of variegatedness. Other religion or religions, they don't have an explanation of what is the spiritual world. They think the spiritual world is void and you don't do anything. Everyone is wearing the same white collar dress. If here we can have so many variegatedness, so much taste, so much smells, so much ways of what we hear. In the spiritual world, it's the same thing. Every song, every walk is a dance. Every speech is a song. What else? Every word is a song. Yes. Every step is a dance. Everything there is the original. Everything there is the original. Now replica means looks original, but it is not real at the same time. It's like you can buy original watch and you can buy a replica watch. A replica watch is moving also, but inside it'll break down very easily. The material world is like that. It's a replica. That's why it is real, but it is temporary. It is not false. Everything has substance, form as substance, but it can break anytime. In the spiritual world, no. Everything is real and everything is eternal, full of knowledge and bliss. In the material world is a reflection. It is temporary, it's full of ignorance and miseries. So that is the difference. So 180 degrees, that means completely the opposite. The whole like circle is 360, and then if you put a line in the middle, so the other half is 180 and the other half is 180 degrees. So that means the spiritual world still it's 3/4, 3/4 of the entire kingdom of God comprises the spiritual world, and 1/4 of the entire kingdom of God comprises the material world. And still it says that the material world is just like a one point of the spiritual world. Less than 10% of the living entities are in the material world, and more than 90%, the balance, is in the spiritual world. So don't think that we are getting overpopulated here. No. There's so many vacant lands. If you travel by plane, you see from the top so many vacant lands. Only the people it's congested in the cities because this is where the money is. But most of the places is all free. I've been to Mauritius, and from the top, everything is practically free. There's only 1.2 million people there. Over there also it looks like heavenly planets. No pollution. It's like the Bhagavatam this morning. No pollution, a lot of fresh air. People are very peaceful. Everyone is saying Hare Krishna, even the police. They don't have guns. The police don't have guns in Mauritius. They don't have no terrorists. Only in the banks, of course. They have to have guns just for protection. But the police are not allowed to use guns, even if they have the guns. Can you imagine that? I stayed in one devotee who is a policeman. He says, "Oh, we have guns in the court, but you're not supposed to use it. You just, like for showing." Very peaceful place. Prabhupada says it could be the first Krishna conscious country. He said that also to Fiji. He said that also to Manipur. Because of the Vedic culture is very much influenced all over the country. So people who are attached to Vedic culture is more likely they'll become more and more Krishna conscious. It just takes time. 40% of the people there are Hindus, even though they're worshippers of Mata Di and Lord Shiva or other demigods. At least they are closer to finally, after some time, after preaching, devotees are very enthusiastic. After preaching, then they'll also become devotees. Even the Muslims and Christians, they say Hare Krishna to you if they see you have a tilak and kantimala wherever you go. I don't think they do that in Delhi. I don't think so. They will even spit on your face if they have the chance. This is the land of Dharma. India is a land of Dharma, but people seems to be becoming more and more away. Because they want to imitate cultureless West. They're forgetting their original culture, Krishna conscious culture or Vedic culture. They're becoming more and more entangled in the fruitive activities that they're performing. So the external energy of the Lord, the Prakriti, is very difficult to overcome. Daivihi gunamai mama maya duratyaya. Mam evaye prapadyante mayamit antaram tite. Only when one surrenders unto the Supreme Lord, then this material energy can be easily overcome. Just like the whole material world is compared to an ocean, and it becomes like a hoofprint of a calf, those who surrender unto the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, not possible to attain the real tree of the spiritual world. One can become more and more entangled in this material world, and hope against hope. If he meets a bona fide representative of the Supreme Lord, then there is hope for that person. Still, one may not take up to the process, but it is our duty to present this Krishna consciousness with a lot of conviction, as we mentioned earlier this morning, determination and fearlessness to present this Krishna consciousness. Be bold to present this Krishna consciousness to others who are suffering in this material world. Give them the chance. If they take it up, it's for their own benefit. If they don't, what to do? Hare Krishna. So we'll stop here. Any questions? With the tree, the Ashbatam, the banyan tree. What is that, sir?
During Adhik Maas, this 15th chapter is
This 15th chapter should be discussed. Yeah? Very auspicious. So do it. Why? I don't know. If it says you should do it, just do it. Don't ask why. It's a scripture.
At the end of this chapter, the last purport, Prabhupada mentions that the first 5 verses are the most important. And we will repeat them. So do not become discouraged if we're repeating the first verse for a few days.
Yeah.
I didn't find out where it said, but somebody was explaining that these first 5 verses are the most important verses, and that you will become liberated by understanding these first 5 verses. So, by repeating these, then by the time we get to Purushottam, the Mass, then we will be able to finish all the shlokas within the month.
Good.
We'll repeat some of the verses, which are very important.
It is important to understand our entanglement. The why are we entangled? Otherwise, we don't want to get to be disentangled. Right? We have to know what is the problem, so we'll find the solution. Our problem is that, yes, we have been entangled here, we've been bondage here, life after life. So we have to know that actually we are entangled. Then we want to release ourselves. Those who doesn't want to realize that they are entangled and no one is showing them that they are entangled, they will never be disentangled. They will not want to get out of this material world. That's why our preaching is always the same. Get out of this material world. This life here is full of miseries. Birth after birth, we've been suffering in this material world, full of ignorance. Seems to be very negative, right? Our preaching. But we have positive preaching also. Yes, you go back to the spiritual world. Spiritual world is the place where our original home is. It's free from anxiety. Everything there is always fresh, eternal, full of knowledge. So we just don't preach the negative. we also say, by telling the negative to have that alternative of positive, we give them hope that actually don't stay here. Get out of this world as soon as possible. Right? So if it says that you recite this yoga of the Supreme Person, please do.
I found the last sentence, sorry, 2 sentences. In this chapter, the first 5 verses describe the process of freeing oneself from these weaknesses of the heart.
Hirida Durlavya.
And the rest of the chapter, from the 6th verse through the end, describes Purushottam Yoga,
Prasuttam Yoga.
how to
Get released.
relieve yourself from
The entanglement. If one is not understanding that he's entangled, he doesn't want to be disentangled. And that's his illusion. Being entangled and not knowing that you are entangled is illusion. It is Maya. Being entangled and understanding that yes, I have to do something about this, then realization about spiritual matters starts to evolve, start to realize. Yes?
This regarding when you spoke about desires, we have to purify our desires.
Yes.
Because we are not pure devotees till now, desire
Yes.
not. So when we try to purify our desires are not completely pure.
Yes.
For example, suppose we want to have a house for
Yes.
ourselves. We
Yes.
may think that the intention for having a house could be that we want to have a beautiful temple for our deities, for welcoming devotees, serving devotees in our house.
Yes.
But in the whole this process, somewhere we may also think that I can have a beautiful bedroom for myself. So it is not completely pure desire. So when such things comes to it, it's in almost in every desire, such things happen, which is little mixed. Majority would be devotional service,
Understand.
but it is also mixed. So in such a situation, should we reject the desire or go ahead with?
No. You cannot know which one, how to purify completely, not until you surrender unto a bona fide representative of the Supreme Lord. They're the ones who purify actually. Your desires is there, but they're the ones who complete your desires to be purified. They know how to guide because they have realized knowledge. Our knowledge is not purified, so if we want to purify our desire, we may think that it is being purified, but actually it is not. There's a tinge of material desires is still there for our own benefit. So that last bit of having this tendency to enjoy is being cut by the spiritual master or sages, saintly personalities. That's why they are heavy. Guru means heavy. They cut your material attachments where you are still trying to enjoy. That attachments that you have, they transform it into spiritual. Then you become detached to them. If you don't take guidance from a bona fide spiritual master, it is not complete. You don't go back home, back to Godhead. That is the bottom line. Okay?
So are we supposed to take guidance for all of our desire, each and every desire we should go and seek guidance?
If you can, that will be good. Even a grihasta wants to have a baby, they ask permission from Guru also. Either material problems or spiritual problems. If possible, we can go to our Guru Maharaj, but better just the spiritual problems. Material problems will be taken care of if you follow his instructions. Automatically, there'll be no material problems. Spiritual problems may be there, yes, then you confer your spiritual problems to Guru. But most of the times, disciples go to Guru only to ask help, solve their material problems, that's all right also, but we should not bother Guru for material problems. He has enough to take. Hmm. Okay. Anything else? As long as we have this material body, we will have always material problems. But if you are Krishna conscious, automatically all the material problems will be also solved. We don't have to endeavor separately. Material problems becomes minimal. Prabhupada is having a toothache. You know, he's still... Huh? How do you distinguish between... How do you distinguish between material? How do you draw a line between the two? Material problems, spiritual problems. Yeah, material problems. Material desires means it's meant for you only. Material desires is not for Krishna. No, that is then. Yes.
First of all, material desire, then only you can move ahead. How we can draw a line between the two?
How you can draw the line between what?
What? Between the material desire and the I want that I should do for the law, for the praise of the Lord. But
So that is a spiritual desire.
That's only spiritual desire. You can take it.
Anything for Krishna is spiritual.
Whether
But
we are doing
hold on. I'm trying to answer your question.
Yes.
Everything that is meant for Krishna is spiritual. But if you think that it is for Krishna, for me to enjoy, that is not spiritual. Even if you don't enjoy, actually everything for Krishna, you have to perform austerities. And austerities is not enjoyment. It takes a lot of hard work to reach that level. And your happiness is when you reach that level that you'll be able to please Krishna according to how you want to please Krishna with great endeavor. Now you want to please Krishna, but you want to enjoy at the same time. It's not pleasing to Krishna. It is your material desires you want to fulfill, and the expense or the excuse that you want to please Krishna. Just like saying, oh, I want a big house for Krishna. Right? I want a big house for Krishna. But then you bought a big house, but then you have a small altar in the corner. Or big, industrialists, they have big house. They have also big temples for Krishna, but they don't do the worship. They pay some brahmanas to do the puja. And they think that, oh, I'm worshiping Krishna, but I paid somebody to do the worship and do the... So how is that? It doesn't equate. You're not doing the seva. But you build a big temple for Krishna, of course, and you have a big house, but you're enjoying and you're paying somebody to do the puja. Of course, nowadays we have devotees that needs to be maintained. So we have pujaris to do puja, but they have to be maintained. That's all right. Some of our temples in America or even in India also, we have to maintain our devotees because they have families also. That's all right. Right? But for grihastas, you have to know, yes, the line, what is really my desire for Krishna and what is desire for myself. And if you don't know how to do it, which more likely you are saying is for Krishna, but it's not for Krishna, it is for me. You need Guru. Guru is the one who tells you that actually, no, you're going overboard. Without Guru, our situation is not safe. It's very, it can be out of balance. But Guru balance it. Because Grihastas especially, they have to perform the activities that enjoyment is there, but not over enjoying. Then you become Grihamedi. Right? Okay? Anything else? We'll stop here. Excuse me? What, microphone, use the microphone.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
What is the position of the paid pujari?
What is the position of the paid pujari? You see, time changes. In the Vedic times, they don't get paid. They get donations. The Brahmanas. But they get gold. They get so much, so much cows. But you know what they do? They give it back to charity. Nowadays, you have to maintain yourself. If you're a Brahmana and you're doing puja, let's say you're a member of ISKCON, and you have family, you have children, you have a house, you have to pay rent. And Prabhupada says if you're 100% engaged in Krishna consciousness, the temple will provide your maintenance. But not asking for much more than what you need. Then the basic necessities, yeah, that's what I call basic necessities. If you go, Prabhuji, this is not enough. I need 10,000 rupees more because, you know, then, then you're not doing devotional service. That means you are paid. Maintenance and salary is difference. Salary means you're able to still have so much that you can save. But maintenance means just enough for you to maintain yourself. Huh?
In our language, legal language, it's called subsistence allowance.
Substance?
Subsistence allowance.
Subsistence allowance. You see,
Yes,
our
okay, subsistence allowance that you can
subsist, that you can exist.
exist.
Yes. Our devotees who are giving this maintenance, if they get sick, the temple provide. They get operation, temple will pay.
Waiting time, they were a barter system.
Yes.
There was a barter system. There was a
Yes.
barter system.
So they feel,
Like in something.
yeah. So our devotees feel secure. They feel peaceful that the temple is there to help me just in case of emergency because they don't have extra money. If we give them more than what they need, then they become greedy. And they're not doing it for devotional service. So we have to come up to that level where we have to make adjustments. If you don't pay them, then how are they going to live? They will go find a job outside, work as a karmi, and that is painful for them. And for us to see, we can utilize their talents, their service for Krishna. So that is much better. Subsistence allowance. Okay, I learned a new word today.
What's the word?
Subsistence.
Subsistence allowance.
Subsistence allowance.
Allowance, yeah. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati had quite a few grihastha devotees, and they would submit to him, they would give to him their salaries, and he would return to them what would be considered, what would cover their monthly expenses.
Whatever is left over,
They would do this voluntarily.
that's
And
good.
in the old days in ISKCON, when we would go on programs, people would always, it's a custom in India, you give some money and some cloth and prashad to
Yes.
people that you invite.
Yes.
So, but it was a custom that all the brahmacharis would just return in the money to the temple president for the
Yes.
temple. Nowadays they go out on these kirtan parties and they make
Prabhupada says only sannyasis are allowed to take donations. Only sannyasis. Others are not.
In Vedic culture, Maharaj,
And because they're Brahmins, they give away in
No,
charity.
now
And
it's
the more they give away in charity, the more they get in
yes.
donation.
But now the brahmacharis, they just don't wait for the donation to keep for themselves. They put a certain amount. If you don't give me this much, I don't go to the program. That is like a contract, you know. If you don't give me this much amount, sorry, find somebody else.
Therefore, our temple should be preaching to the brahmacharis right from the start. The preaching is the essence.
Yes, yes, yes.
And books are
They have to know. They have to learn how to. They have to learn how to depend fully on Krishna. And if they do that, if they become like fruitive in their ways, then more likely they will change their ashram.
They always do. When I was in Kenya, there was very little scope for getting money donations.
Mm-mm.
So I used to do money carry in a Datsun pickup truck. And somehow or other, so many people would give so many things, and we would be able to put so many festivals and feasts together because of so many donations. So the preaching that's involved in such a thing is so ecstatic. You draw people into the process that way. So the
Right,
preaching is there.
right.
We never had any money. We barely had money to pay for the stamps. Practically, when I had to buy the petrol, I used to bargain with the guy and get it as a donation.
Yes, it's a different mood those days, and hopefully we can get back to the roots. Get back to the roots. Try to come to the pure platform.
Completely dependent on Krishna.
Yeah,
It's so
yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah,
Because then you understand that you're not in control, and if you look around, you can see that nobody else is in control. And it should be a joyful and wonderful experience to know that Krishna is in control.
And real bliss can be experienced by those who fully depend on Krishna. That's real bliss. It's not halfway, it's full. So let's hope that, yes, we should keep on reminding our devotees the proper way how to do the way how Prabhupada taught us in the beginning. By the Acharya. Preach. Yes, when I traveled with my Guru Maharaj, so I got some donations also as a sannyasi, and he said, now you're getting donations. Don't think that this actually belongs to you. You have just like do as I do. I put my donations to different programs. So you choose some programs that you like where you give that Lakshmi. But because sannyasi is everything that we own actually belongs to Krishna. We don't think, oh yes, this belongs to me. Then that is dangerous. So he showed me the way that if you collect donations, you also put them to different projects. What you like, what you think it's,
If you donate to the Samadhi fixed deposit, the donations will eternally serve.
Okay. I don't have that much donation yet.
Nothing too big and nothing too small.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, Srila Prabhupada ki Hare Krishna. Hare Bol. Hare Krishna.